Hi guys, Dr. Berg here. In this video, I'm going to give you some tips on combining the body types with keto and intermittent fasting. If you have all three of these together, you can really get your body healthy fast. Now, the book that's coming out very soon, I know I've been saying that for the last year and a half, but it's really at the last little phase right now, has all this information in detail. So I'm going to give you a couple tips on it right now, but we're putting this layer of body types over the ketogenic diet and intermittent fasting just to make it an amazing program. So let's talk about the adrenal body type first. And yes, you might be a combination of 2 of these or 3 of these or 4 of these, but I'm not going to get into that in this video. We're just going to talk about what you would do if you're an adrenal type. Okay, so you're going to do ketogenic and you're also going to do intermittent fasting, but you're going to go a little higher with the protein. So instead of 3 ounces of protein, you do 6 ounces of protein for the adrenal. Because you're in a breakdown mode of protein, you need a little bit more. You also need a little bit more sleep, stress reduction. You want to do things to bring the stress down. You want to go long walks. You want to give yourself more recovery time. You want to probably even take naps, but try to get a little bit more sleep on that. I always like to use the acupressure tool on my body to get me to wind down faster. You can do that as well. Potassium is important for the adrenal, so that means a lot of greens. The electrolyte powder would be good, but potassium helps the adrenal calm down. It's a physiological relaxer mineral for the flight or fight nervous system. You actually need more cholesterol with the adrenal body type because all the hormones that are produced by the adrenal are made from cholesterol. So you don't want to go low fat at all. Egg yolks are the best. Okay, vitamin C foods, that's the vegetables. So when you get the potassium from your vegetables, you also get the vitamin C. Vitamin C is very, very important for making adrenal hormones and just supporting the adrenal gland itself because it stores vitamin C to make its hormones. Okay, ovary type. You gotta go organic, completely 100% organic. You cannot be exposed to the GMO foods because when you're an ovary type, you have a problem with estrogen. And if you have a problem with estrogen, you might be more at risk for cancers, breast cancer, uterine cancer. And so those tissues are very sensitive to estrogen and things called endocrine disruptors, which are any chemicals that mimic estrogen. Glyphosate, which is an herbicide, mimics estrogen. So we want to go non-GMO, and that would be, because they don't label it, you have to just go with organic. So do organic foods, vegetables and your meats and dairy as well. You want to go a little bit higher with your protein. 6 ounces of protein are generally the recommendation, but it really depends on how much you need personally. It could be a little less, but generally it's a little bit more. Test it out. Cruciferous vegetables are very important having an ovary problem simply because they are anti-estrogenic. Okay? So that's why you want to include them. Brussels sprouts are good, kale is good, kale shakes, those type of things. Iodine is good too in the form of sea kelp because it lowers estrogen naturally. Higher amounts of cholesterol because the hormones that are made from the ovary are steroids and they need higher cholesterol to make those as a precursor. Thyroid, okay? You need a little lower protein for the thyroid because the metabolism is so slow. Iodine is going to be important, so sea kelp is going to be essential because that's the mineral that helps make the thyroid hormones. If you ever see T3 or T4, that's the number of iodine molecules that are connected to that hormone. And then also, if you get sea kelp, you also have selenium, which is another mineral to help the conversion. If you have a real bad thyroid and your metabolism is really slow, you're going to have to do intermittent fasting down to eventually 1 meal a day. That's what it's going to take on some cases to get them to lose weight. But make sure that you don't go low calorie. Never make sure that with the thyroid because you're going to slow the metabolism down even more. So the only problem that you would run into is to get enough calories or enough nutrients from that meal. It has to be quite robust. But you probably don't want to do a lot of cruciferous with thyroid if it's a true thyroid because that can deplete iodine. So do other vegetables like spinach and leafy greens and bell peppers and things like that. Now the liver, if it's a liver body type, go a little lower on the protein, like 3 ounces of protein. But if you're a big guy, maybe you need 6 ounces, okay? But try not to go too much because too much protein destroys the liver. Limit the amount of nuts that you consume. It's easy to start going crazy with peanut butter and nuts, but that can aggravate the liver as well. Cruciferous vegetables are a must because those vegetables help repair liver function. Go gradual with your fats. When you're doing intermittent fasting, sometimes you can overdo it and jam up the liver and the gallbladder. Just kind of go gradual with that. Make sure it's not too much. You need some, but not a crazy amounts, not as much as an adrenal case. Lots of greens, though. Huge salads. Very, very important. Now, let's say you do one of these programs and it doesn't feel right. It's not producing the results or the effect. Then you probably have the wrong body type. So sometimes I'll have a person try this and then try this, and they might find that they do really good on this, then they're probably an adrenal type, because sometimes it's a crossover and you don't know what your primary body type is. All right? So the book's coming out soon, but in the meantime, you can use this as a guideline. Thanks so much for watching. Hey, you probably already subscribed, but if you haven't, press this little button down below and I will keep you updated.